This is a land of immense scale, a world painted in broad, sweeping strokes of ochre and gold. It stretches from one horizon to the other, a seemingly infinite ocean of grass under a vast, open sky. The air itself feels ancient, heavy with the dust of millennia and the scent of sun-baked earth. Distant mountains, hazy and blue, rise like sleeping giants on the edge of the world. Here, time does not march forward in minutes and hours. Instead, it flows with the slow, deliberate rhythm of the sun's journey across the sky, a pace set not by clocks, but by the turning of the earth itself. It is a kingdom of silence, punctuated only by the whisper of the wind. The sun is a relentless force, a brilliant white orb, in a sea of pale blue. Its heat presses down upon the land, shimmering in waves above the scorched ground. The grasses, once green, are now bleached to the color of pale straw, rustling with a dry, papery sound as the breeze passes through them. Solitary acacia trees stand as stark silhouettes against the brightness, their flat tops offering scant, precious shade. These are the lonely sentinels of the plains, witnesses to an endless cycle of life and death. The landscape holds its breath, waiting for the rain, waiting for the night, waiting for the giants to stir from their slumber. Sounds are subtle here, yet they carry for miles across the open expanse. The wind is a constant companion, a soft, sighing presence that weaves through the tall stalks of grass. It speaks of distance, of wide-open spaces where one can see for what feels like an eternity. Far away, a low rumble might be heard. It is not the sound of an engine or of human activity. It is the deep, resonant growl of distant thunder, a promise of life-giving water that may or may not arrive. This is a place that demands patience, a world where one must learn to listen not with the ears, but with the soul, to truly understand its language. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. A single human, standing in the midst of this immensity, would feel profoundly small, a fleeting guest, in a realm that belongs to forces far older and more powerful. The air is clear and clean, free from the clutter of the modern world. Every detail stands out with startling clarity. The delicate structure of a weaverbird's nest, the intricate patterns on a tortoise's shell, the precise line of the horizon. It is a canvas of breathtaking simplicity and profound complexity, a place where the grandeur of nature is on full, unapologetic display, demanding nothing but our quiet reverence and complete attention. The silence is broken. A low, deep vibration begins to tremble through the very ground beneath our feet. It is a feeling before it is a sound, a subtle tremor that announces an arrival of immense significance. The dust on the horizon begins to stir, rising in a slow, deliberate cloud. And then, they appear. Shapes of gray, like boulders come to life, emerge from the heat haze. They are the architects of this land, the earth movers, the giants. An elephant matriarch leads the way, her great head held high, her large ears fanning gently to cool her ancient skin. She moves with a slow, ponderous grace that belies her incredible power and size. Behind her, the family follows in a line of quiet procession. Calves, small and endearingly clumsy, stay close to their mothers, their tiny trunks exploring the world with innocent curiosity. They are protected on all sides by the massive bodies of their aunts and older siblings. Their collective footfalls are a soft, rhythmic thud, the sound of immense weight being placed gently upon the earth. They communicate in a language we can barely perceive, a series of low-frequency rumbles that travel for miles through the ground. A secret conversation that binds the herd together across the vast plains. This is a family united by a bond that is deep, complex, and utterly unbreakable. The matriarch pauses, lifting her trunk to taste the air. Her small, intelligent eyes survey the landscape with a wisdom that seems to hold the memory of generations. She is searching for water, for food, for the scent of danger. Every decision she makes will determine the fate of her family. The others wait with a quiet, trusting patience, their immense bodies still, their ears catching the faintest whispers on the wind. The responsibility she carries is immense, a burden of leadership worn with a quiet dignity that is both humbling and inspiring to witness. She is the living library of this ancient land. With a soft rumble of reassurance, she moves forward once more. The herd follows without question. They are heading towards a distant line of green that marks the presence of a river, a lifeline in this dry and unforgiving world. Their journey is a slow and epic pilgrimage, a testament to endurance and the power of family. To watch them move across the landscape is to witness something timeless, a scene that has played out on this very stage for countless millennia. They are not just passing through this land, they are an integral part of it, shaping it with every step they take, their presence a fundamental truth of the savannah. The heat of the afternoon sun forces most creatures into a state of lethargy. In the dappled shade of a rocky outcrop, a kopje that rises like an island from the sea of grass, the king is holding court. But there is no ceremony here, no grand display. There is only the profound stillness of power at rest. A magnificent male lion lies sprawled on a flat sun-warmed slab of granite. His coat is the color of dried grass and honey, a perfect camouflage that allows him to melt into the landscape. His huge paws, tipped with claws as sharp as daggers, are relaxed, one draped casually over the edge of the rock. His chest rises and falls in a slow, deep and steady rhythm. He is the embodiment of controlled strength, a picture of absolute confidence. A few flies buzz lazily around his head, and he dismisses them with an almost imperceptible twitch of an ear or a ripple of skin. His eyes, the color of amber, are half closed, but they miss nothing. They scan the horizon with a lazy, regal gaze that seems to take in everything, and yet give nothing away. This is his kingdom, and he knows it. Every scent on the wind, every distant sound, is registered, analyzed and filed away in a mind honed by generations of survival. His magnificent mane, a thick ruff of black and gold, frames a face that is scarred with the history of past battles. Each mark tells a story of a challenge met, of territory defended, of a life lived at the very apex of the food chain. He is a warrior, a patriarch, a symbol of wild, untamable power. Yet, in this moment of quiet repose, there is a vulnerability to him, a sense of peace that is a stark contrast to the brutal reality of his existence. The wind gently stirs the long hairs of his mane, revealing the powerful muscles of his neck and shoulders, an engine of destruction currently at rest. As the sun begins to dip lower, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, a change comes over him. A deep, guttural yawn reveals a formidable set of teeth. He stretches, his entire body elongating, every muscle taut and ready. The time for rest is ending. Soon the cool of the evening will descend, and with it, the hunt will begin. He rises, shakes his magnificent head, and lets out a sound that is not a roar, but a low, rumbling groan. It is a sound that carries for miles, a declaration of presence, a warning to rivals, and a call to his pride. The king is awake. Against the soft light of the late afternoon, a strange and wonderful silhouette appears. It is a sight that seems to defy logic, a creature of impossible proportions. The giraffe moves with a slow, rocking gait that is utterly unique, its impossibly long neck swaying gently like the mast of a tall ship on a calm sea. They are the silent giants, the gentle towers that drift through the acacia woodlands. They move with an elegance and grace that seems at odds with their towering height and awkward-looking frame. Watching them is like watching a dream unfold, a slow-motion ballet performed by nature's most unlikely dancer. They browse on the highest leaves of the thorny acacia trees, a food source far beyond the reach of any other herbivore. Their long, prehensile tongues, dark blue in color, deftly navigate the sharp thorns to pluck the tenderest leaves. There is a peacefulness to their feeding, a quiet concentration that seems to absorb their entire being. They are creatures of utter calm, their large, dark eyes fringed with impossibly long lashes, giving them an expression of perpetual gentleness and curiosity. They do not seem to walk upon the earth so much as float above it, their patterned coats of brown and cream blending seamlessly with the dappled light filtering through the trees. Even an action as simple as drinking water is a major undertaking, a moment of profound vulnerability. To reach the water's surface, a giraffe must splay its long front legs wide apart in a difficult, awkward posture. It lowers its head, a journey of many feet, its neck exposed and its eyes unable to scan the horizon for danger. It is a position of absolute trust in the stillness of the world around it. The herd takes turns, with some individuals standing guard, their height providing the perfect vantage point to spot any approaching threat. This cooperative behavior is essential for survival, a silent agreement among these gentle giants. As they move through the landscape, they seem almost oblivious to the world around them, lost in their own high-altitude existence. But they are deeply connected to it. Their presence shapes the very structure of the woodlands, pruning the trees and allowing sunlight to reach the ground below. They are the quiet gardeners of the savannah. They move with a serenity that is contagious, their silent passage a reminder that not all power needs to be announced with a roar. Sometimes, the greatest strength is found in quiet grace, in the ability to rise above the fray and see the world from a different perspective. Out on the open plain, where the grass is short and the earth is baked hard, another giant roams. This one is built not for height, but for power. The rhinoceros is a relic from a prehistoric age, a living testament to the power of defense. Its thick, folded skin is like a suit of armor, its body a low-slung fortress of muscle and bone. On its nose, it wears its formidable weapon, a horn made not of bone, but of densely packed keratin, the same substance as our fingernails. It is a creature of immense substance, its every movement conveying a sense of weight and purpose. It moves with a surprisingly brisk shuffling walk, its head held low to the ground. Its eyesight is notoriously poor, and it relies primarily on its acute senses of hearing and smell to interpret the world. Its large mobile ears swivel like radar dishes, capturing the faintest of sounds. Its nostrils flare, constantly sampling the air for information. The scent of a rival, the smell of a predator, the promise of a muddy wallow. It is a creature that lives in a world of sounds and smells, a landscape defined not by sight, but by scent trails and acoustic signals that are invisible to us. For all its formidable appearance, there is a surprising gentleness to the rhino. A mother and her calf present a picture of tender devotion. The young rhino, a smaller, more energetic version of its parent, stays close, often trotting just ahead of its mother, who guides it with gentle nudges from her massive head. She is fiercely protective, a wall of gray muscle and horn that stands between her offspring and any potential danger. Her bond with her calf is strong, a connection that will last for several years as she teaches it the essential skills of survival on the unforgiving plains. The rhino is a guardian of the grasslands, a keystone species whose grazing habits help to maintain the health of the ecosystem. By cropping the grasses short, they create habitats for other species and help prevent the spread of wildfires. Their presence is a sign of a healthy, functioning savanna. To see one is to feel a connection to a deeper, more ancient time, a time when giants walked the earth freely. They are a powerful, poignant reminder of what we stand to lose, a symbol of both nature's incredible resilience and its profound fragility in the face of change. Through the heart of the dry plains, a ribbon of life winds its way. The river is the savannah's lifeblood, a place of gathering and, well, of great drama. Its banks are a vibrant green, a stark contrast to the parched gold of the surrounding landscape. The air here is cooler, thick, with the scent of damp earth and decaying vegetation. The sound of water is a constant, soothing murmur, a gentle gurgling as it flows over smooth stones and around the tangled roots of riverside trees. This is where the laws of the dry land are, for a while, suspended, where thirst is quenched and life is renewed. All the giants are drawn here. The elephants arrive in their family groups, their rumbles of contentment echoing as they plunge into the cool water. They spray themselves and each other with joyous abandon, their tough hides turning dark with moisture. Playful calves disappear completely beneath the surface, only to re-emerge with a snort and a spray of water from their trunks. For them, the river is not just a place to drink, it is a place for socializing, for reaffirming bonds, for pure, unadulterated joy. It is a sanctuary from the relentless heat and the endless dust. But the river is also a place of tension. Where prey gathers, predators will not be far behind. Hidden in the tall reeds that line the banks, or concealed within the murky water itself, danger is always present. A lion pride may watch from a shady vantage point, their golden eyes patiently assessing the herds that come to drink. They are waiting for a moment of weakness, for a lone individual to become separated from the safety of the group. The very water that gives life can also be the stage for its violent end. Every animal that approaches the water's edge is acutely aware of this perilous balance. The water itself holds its own giants. Hippos, submerged like living boulders, watch the proceedings with only their eyes, ears, and nostrils showing above the surface. A sudden cavernous yawn reveals a glimpse of their formidable tusks. Crocodiles, ancient and patient, lie motionless, looking for all the world like floating logs. They are masters of the ambush, waiting for the precise moment to strike. The river is a place of profound duality, a source of life and a theater of death, a place of peace and a place of peril. It is the vibrant, beating heart of the African savanna. A low cloud of dust on the horizon signals their approach. It is not the slow, deliberate dust cloud of the elephants, but a roiling, urgent mass that speaks of immense numbers and unstoppable momentum. A rumbling sound grows, a combination of thousands of hooves striking the earth and the low, guttural calls of the herd. Then they come into view, a vast, moving sea of black, the Cape buffalo. They are not simply a collection of individuals, they are a single colossal organism, a black tide that flows across the plains with an intimidating unified purpose. These are not gentle grazers. The buffalo is one of the most formidable and unpredictable animals in Africa. They possess a raw, muscular power and a collective intelligence that makes them a force to be reckoned with. The old bulls, with their massive, fused horns known as a boss, form the vanguard and the rear guard. Their scarred hides and weary, bloodshot eyes tell of a lifetime of battles. They are the protectors, the sentinels who carry the weight of the herd's safety on their massive shoulders. Their gaze is one of perpetual, brooding suspicion. They trust nothing. When the herd moves, the ground itself seems to shake. The sheer number of them is overwhelming, a living river of muscle, horn, and hide that can stretch for miles. They graze as they move, their powerful jaws tearing at the tough grasses, their passage transforming the landscape. They communicate with a series of grunts, moans, and snorts, a constant stream of information passing through the dense ranks of the herd. A sudden stop by one can cause a ripple effect, bringing hundreds of animals to an alert, watchful halt in an instant. Their unity is their greatest weapon. Even the most confident predators treat a large buffalo herd with profound respect. A lion pride will study them for hours, looking for any sign of weakness. A lone calf, an old or injured individual. To attack a healthy adult buffalo in the midst of the herd is to invite a terrifying response. If one of their own is threatened, the herd will turn and charge as one. A formidable wall of horns and fury that few predators would dare to face. They are the dark, brooding soul of the savanna, a symbol of unyielding strength and the formidable power of the collective. As the sun finally touches the horizon, it sets the sky ablaze. The pale blues and whites of midday give way to a spectacular palette of fiery orange, deep crimson, and soft violet. The world is bathed in a warm, golden light that makes the entire savanna glow. This is the magic hour, a brief and beautiful interlude between the harshness of the day and the uncertainty of the night. The air grows cooler, and a new set of sounds begins to emerge, creating the symphony of dusk. The gentle sighing of the wind is now joined by the first chirps of crickets and the croaking of frogs from a nearby waterhole. The giants of the day begin to settle. The elephants find a safe place to stand and sleep, their great bodies clustered together for warmth and security. The giraffes fold their long legs beneath them in a slow, careful sequence, their heads still held high, ever watchful. The daytime birds sing their last songs before roosting for the night. It is a time of transition, a changing of the guard. The creatures of the sun are making way for the creatures of the moon, and the entire landscape seems to hold its breath in anticipation of the darkness to come. From the shadows, new shapes emerge. The delicate, twitching form of a bat-eared fox appears, its huge ears scanning for the telltale sound of insects moving beneath the ground. A hyena, often misunderstood, begins its nightly patrol. Its loping gait and strange, almost comical appearance belie a powerful and highly intelligent social predator. Its call, a rising whoop that echoes across the plains, is one of the most iconic and chilling sounds of the African night. It is a sound that speaks of hunger, of territory, and of the complex social dynamics of the clan. The darkness that falls here is absolute. Far from the glow of city lights, the sky is revealed in all its celestial glory. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a river of diamonds, and the stars are so bright they seem close enough to touch. It is under this canopy of silent, glittering stars that the night's great drama will unfold. The lion, now fully awake and on the move, lets out a full-throated, magnificent roar. It is not a sound of anger, but a profound declaration of ownership that rolls across the plains, a definitive statement that the night and everything in it belongs to him. The night's drama recedes with the first hint of light in the east. A pale gray line appears on the horizon, slowly pushing back the deep, inky blackness. The air is cool and damp, heavy with dew and the scent of the night's activities. The stars fade one by one, their brilliance outshone by the approaching dawn. The predators, their hunt successful or not, begin to retreat to their daytime resting spots. The hyenas slink back to their dens, and the lion, his belly full, finds a comfortable patch of ground to sleep off his meal. The great silence of the night gives way to a new, softer quiet. Then, the first rays of sun breach the horizon, spilling liquid gold across the land. The light catches the dew on every blade of grass, turning the entire savanna into a field of glittering jewels. The acacia trees are transformed into golden sculptures. The air warms rapidly, and the sounds of the day begin anew. Birds break into a chorus of song, their calls clear and sharp in the crisp morning air. A herd of zebra, their black and white stripes dazzling in the low light, begin to graze peacefully. The world is washed clean, reborn, ready for another day. The giants stir. The elephants begin to rumble, greeting the new day and each other before setting off on their endless search for food. The giraffes rise to their full towering height, their long necks catching the very first rays of the sun. The buffalo herd begins to move, a dark mass in the golden light. The cycle begins again, as it has for time immemorial. It is a rhythm that is deep, powerful, and eternal. Every sunrise is a promise renewed, a guarantee that life, in all its magnificent and brutal forms, will continue. Standing here in the midst of this timeless pageant is to feel a profound sense of awe and humility. This is a world that operates on a scale far beyond our own, governed by laws that are ancient and absolute. The giants of the savanna are not just animals, they are the living spirit of this place, the embodiment of its wildness, its beauty, and its enduring mystery. They are a connection to a world that is older, grander, and more fundamental than our own. And as long as they walk this earth, the ancient promise of the African savanna will continue to be kept.